If this found you, it's not an accident. There's a reason you're feeling this way, and there's a reason you're here right now listening. Maybe lately something feels off, not necessarily wrong, just unclear. Like you've been moving through your days on autopilot, doing what you're supposed to do, saying the right things. But inside, there's this quiet question that won't go away. What am I doing with my life? And it's not always loud. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking at night. Sometimes as a lack of motivation for things that used to excite you. Sometimes as a strange emptiness, even when everything looks fine from the outside. You might feel like you're falling behind, like everyone else has direction, purpose, certainty, and you're just trying to figure it out as you go, and that feeling, it can be heavy. But what if feeling lost isn't a problem? What if it's actually a sign that something inside you is waking up? Because here's the truth most people don't realize. You don't feel lost when you're disconnected from yourself. You feel lost when you're starting to notice that disconnection. And that awareness, that's the beginning of everything. For a long time, your mind has been running patterns, beliefs, habits, emotional responses, most of them formed years ago. Ways of thinking that helped you survive, fit in, be accepted. But those patterns don't always evolve with you. So you grow, but your internal programming stays the same. And eventually, something inside you starts to resist. That resistance can feel like confusion, like lack of direction, like you've lost yourself. But in reality, you're starting to outgrow who you used to be, and that space between who you were and who you're becoming. That's what feeling lost really is. It's a transition. Your brain doesn't like uncertainty. It wants clear answers, predictable outcomes, familiar paths. So when you step into the unknown, even unconsciously, it tries to pull you back. It creates doubt, overthinking, fear of making the wrong decision. But what you're experiencing isn't failure, it's expansion. You're no longer fully aligned with your old identity, but you haven't fully stepped into the new one yet. And that space, it can feel uncomfortable. But it's also where transformation happens. Because when you don't have all the answers, you start asking deeper questions. When the old paths stop making sense, you become open to new ones. When the noise of certainty fades, awareness begins to grow. This is where presence comes in. Right now, you might be trying to figure everything out, trying to mentally solve your life like it's a puzzle. But clarity doesn't come from forcing answers. It comes from creating space, from stepping out of the constant thinking and into awareness. Because when you're fully present, something shifts. You stop identifying with every thought. You stop believing every fear. You start observing instead of reacting. And in that space, you reconnect with yourself. Not the version of you shaped by expectations or past experiences, but the deeper part of you that's always been there, the part that knows. Feeling lost is often the moment where life gently removes the noise, so you can finally hear that voice again. And yes, it can feel uncomfortable, because you're used to having direction. You're used to knowing what comes next, but maybe, just for a moment, you don't need to know. Maybe this isn't a time to decide your entire future. Maybe it's a time to come back to yourself, to slow down, to listen, to notice what actually feels true, not what you've been told should feel true. Because when you reconnect with that inner clarity, direction doesn't need to be forced. It starts to reveal itself. And it often starts small, not with a huge life-changing decision, but with a subtle shift, a feeling of curiosity, a moment of peace, a quiet sense of, this feels right. Those are the signals, not loud, not dramatic, but real. So instead of asking, what should I do with my life? Try asking, what feels aligned right now? That question brings you back to the present. And the present is where your power is. If everything feels overwhelming, bring it back to something simple. Take a breath. Slow it down. Just notice where you are, because your nervous system needs safety before your mind can find clarity. And when you breathe slowly and deeply, you signal to your body that it's okay to relax. From that place, things begin to soften. Another simple shift is awareness. When you notice thoughts like "I'm behind" or "I have no direction," don't fight them. Just observe them. Recognize that they are patterns, not truth. And the more you observe without reacting, the less power they have over you. And then there's something even more powerful: intention. Even if you don't know exactly where you're going, you can choose how you want to feel. You can begin to align with feelings like peace, clarity, trust. And a simple way to start is with a quiet affirmation. I don't need to have it all figured out. I trust myself to find the way. Let that sink in. Because your path isn't something you need to force, it's something that unfolds as you align with yourself. This moment, feeling lost, it's not a dead end. It's an opening, an invitation to let go of what no longer fits, to question what you've been following unconsciously, to reconnect with what truly matters to you. And that doesn't happen all at once. It happens gradually, gently, one moment of awareness at a time. So if you're here feeling uncertain, take this as a sign that something deeper is shifting within you. You're not falling apart, you're realigning, and even if you can't see the full path yet, you don't need to. You just need to take the next honest step. Because clarity doesn't come before movement, it comes through it. And the more you trust yourself, even in small ways, the more life begins to meet you there. So be patient with yourself. You're not late. You're not lost. You're in the middle of becoming, and that's a powerful place to be. If this message resonated with you, there's a deeper part of you that's ready to understand more. Not just about your path, but about yourself. So take a moment to subscribe and stay connected to this space. And if you're ready, watch the next video. Because sometimes the guidance you're looking for comes one step at a time.